I'm ready. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful New Year, and I'm glad to have you here with us tonight. Can we start by all of you saying your name for the record so that we can have it on the recording?
Gail
Celia
McMillan.
Belling.
Can you repeat that?
Celia Bellin.
Thank you. Next.
Gail McMillan.
Thank you.
Ayana Giles.
Thank you.
Therese Rodney.
Thank you.
K Price.
Thank you. Okay, so that's everyone tonight. Oh, we have one more person. Can you state your name for the record, please? Who just joined us? Hello, Mormon.
Hello, good evening. My name is Kimberly Mormon. Good evening,
Thank you.
everyone.
Good evening. Okay, we have a short agenda for the new year, but first we need to start with the approval of the previous minutes. Hopefully you all had a chance to peruse them.
There was
There
no,
was
there was no minutes, Miss Fields. We are now catching
was
up. We have someone that just started. She submitted her first batch of minutes today, so we're hoping by the end of January we were able to catch up on all the outstanding meeting minutes.
okay, that sounds good. Okay, so I guess we can table that one. Um, for my report, I don't have much reporting except for the fact that I'm still going to be working with Mr. McDonald so we can plan the series for this year coming, leading up to our housing fair in the summertime. So once I have the next meeting with him, I'll be able to have a better reporting for all of you. So this way we'll know where we stand on the series. And in the meantime, what we should be doing is planning the agenda items for the next few meetings, because what I want to do is make sure that we're doing things that are of interest to you, that is going to help you, because I keep trying to come up with different ideas of what you might like, but no one really comes to a certain one. They only come to the one that they want. So I want to get input from all of you as to what you want to have here, who you want to speak with us, and things of that nature. This way we're given topics that are appealing to you, that are of interest to you. So if you want to start suggesting some ideas, what you want to know about, that would be great, because the more participation the better. Don't everybody go at once. So no one knows of any topics that they want to discuss as it pertains to home ownership or renters. If you're renters, what kind of speakers you would like here speaking to us? Topics that you want to know about.
I have a concern.
Okay.
I don't know if it may have been discussed before, but I was under the impression that in the area there's multiple unit housing that are being constructed in the Flatbush area. I think this is District 17, and that is utmost concern for people around where I live, as well as myself, because it impacts on the quality of life with multiple units squeezing into single and single family homes, posing a problem for parking. And more or less is like, when did it change? When did the zone change from uh, a single family housing to a multiple unit dwelling? When did that happen? Because it seems like we were asleep, and when we woke up all night, we saw all houses, so many construction going on, and that is utmost concern to me.
Our zoning hasn't changed yet because that's why Miss James is trying to get zoning changed because right now we're as of right, and so I think as long as the buildings don't go over a certain height, they're able to do so, and that's why she's trying to get the zoning changed so that we can prevent things like this from happening. So too
Mhm.
bad she's not here tonight. She would have been able to explain it a little better because I'm really bad at the zoning information, but yeah, we can try and get more information about that, and this way we can see what we can do about what's going on and make sure that if they're doing things in our neighborhood, that they at least present to the board so that we know
Mhm.
what's going on and we can have input. So I'll put that to the list of things that we should check on. Let me see, check on building being built. And hopefully Ms. James come on sometime tonight and she may be able to explain more of what she's trying to do with the zoning. But yeah, you should participate in some of the meetings that she's been having so this way we can see what she needs from us, what she needs from us and what we can do to help her. So
Mhm.
this way you can get because she's trying to do the contextual zoning and to make it so that they're not doing as much as of that they've been doing in the past. This way we get more input. Apparently we
Mhm.
haven't had any zoning changes since the 60s or something like that, she said. So we'll get more information from her if she decides to come on tonight, hopefully. Of course, the thing is, she usually come on pretty late. Um, anyone else? Don't be shy.
Um, how about information on home insurance? Because
Let
I
me see.
see insurance has just been going up like crazy.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
And the other thing is that I'm getting a lot of mail from different companies about insurance for the main water lines coming into your house, saying things like you can be responsible for thousands of dollars to repair these water lines if they break, and your regular home insurance doesn't cover that. So sometimes I'm not
Oh,
sure if some of these things are scams, if they real, because I don't know too
uh,
much about extra coverage. If that's really true, that if for instance the main coming from the street, if something should damage it, and that's line coming into your house, that you will be responsible for the repairs.
okay. I'll try and find that one out for you. That's a good one too. That would be ouch. Ooh.
Yes, you're responsible for the repairs. The city only covers uh, um to the sidewalk. If your main line is broken, that's the homeowner's responsibility for both. If you have a sewer backup, unless the sewer line is clogged in the street and is causing your home to be backed up, if that doesn't happen, you have to get a roto-rooter and you pay to get the lines clear, your lines clear. So that's true.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I don't mean to interject, but I thought that you paid an additional fee within your in your water bill to cover um lines that leave your house to the main. Like you pay extra something that they charge you, and you can call the DEP. It's like you're saying, it's the homeowner's responsibility. But I'm saying, is there a charge that they put on your bill for some type of coverage too, to help you, to assist you when times like that it happens, because the main is coming from the street. If it's coming from the street, um, is it really the homeowner, or is it this on the city, or you pay, you get reimbursed or something? I thought there was an extra charge on your water bill for that coverage.
Not to my knowledge, but it's something that can be looked into.
Okay.
I think this is like the beginning of a whole series because I feel like homeowner resources and making sure what's covered, what's not, where's the gaps for homeowners would be really helpful to know.
Mhm.
Because like talking about this topic, the main versus the sewer line
Mhm.
versus making sure you have flood insurance because that's not typically covered in homeowners insurance. Solar panels, like just maybe there's a whole series around homeowner resources, and then making sure that we are aware of what's available to us and weeding out what's illegitimate, like the scams and so forth. So a whole topic around that.
Okay. Let me add that to the list. Okay.
Can we just go back again? I know it's like a repeat, but
Mm-hmm.
when you have multiple unit buildings being constructed and some of the apartments are like rentals or I don't know if they're condos or co-op, doesn't that have an impact on your property value? If a house in your area puts a multiple unit and their property taxes is very high, doesn't it impact the others around to raise their property taxes as well? I would like to know because my property tax did go up, I know a bit, but if you have units that's going up there, wouldn't it have an impact on your property taxes as time goes by? I would like to get some clearance on that.
Okay. Um, um, property tax. Okay. I added that to the list. Anyone else?
Hello, this is Kimberly Mormon again.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
I had brought this up um, maybe about 2 meetings ago, but just a reminder, because I'm pretty sure you have it in the minutes and everything from the last time when I spoke, but just really very brief, um, for people who are renters,
Mm-hmm.
I was just interested if they could have a little segment, it doesn't matter when, but for this year, sometime this year, if they could go over like resources for people who are renters, like for example, if you got behind in your rent arrears, or
Okay.
what's the resources, besides the city and the municipal resources, like for example, community, you know, besides government, what are the non-government resources available for people, renters? That's basically it. Like, because I personally went through a rental arrears, and I've been in and out of housing court. I finally got a settlement with my landlord, and the whole shebang.
Right.
But it started after the pandemic hit. That's when my issue happened, is post the pandemic. And I'm pretty sure there's other New Yorkers, in our community board 17, that they, after the pandemic hit, they had issues as renters. That's basically it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. That's a good one. Okay. And we have the information for. Okay, I added that to the list. Okay, and thank you, CK, for that. Oh yeah, we have that already. Um, anyone else? Okay, so we have some pretty good topics here that I can hash you and work with Miss Frazier to get some people to talk to us about. So this way we can get the full benefit of the knowledge. Okay. Um, So we can make a nice little series with that, and combine that with the series that we're doing with Mr. McDonald. We should have a full agenda packed for the next few months. And also remember that we're going to be doing the housing fair, and it would be nice to have actual bodies there helping me. So if you can have it in your mind, in the back of your mind, that I would like you to make sure to come down to help us at the housing fair, because we need setups, we need people working the tables and things of that nature, so we can try and advertise it more and make sure we have a bunch of people coming out on the day of. That would be awesome. So if you can put it in your schedule. I'm trying to do it in the third week of Saturday. Hold on, let me go back to the thing where I had it. Yeah, I'm trying to shoot for the 15th or the 22nd of June. So this way we can make sure we plan way ahead of time, get the sponsorship to sponsor the food and stuff for the different vendors that come out, and get enough vendors to come out and be there to give out their stuff for the people who come in. So please, 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 if you can, I really would like to have your help on this. And so keep that in the back of your mind for coming out in June. And does anybody have any new business that they would like to discuss, to put on the table? If you're having any issues going on in your neighborhood that you would like to bring up. Nada, net. Does anybody have any old business that they've been dealing with that you want us to address? No
Oh,
old
wait.
business? Okay.
Sorry. I'll go back to
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's new business or not, but there's a house that's being renovated on the corner of Clarendon and Troy.
Mhm.
It's one of the leaning houses, and I mean, it looks like they're doing pretty significant construction. It's probably going to be like a three family. There's three different meters outside.
Uh-huh.
But the question is, how are they getting this approved? The house is leaning. You can see it, and they're creating some sort of optical illusion where it looks straight, but if you look at it from different angles, it still looks like it's leaning. So just question on like, what is the process, and is there anything that can be done to, I don't know if it's to fix the infrastructure, but it just seems like it's a dishonest practice to renovate a house and for it to be leaning, and whomever buys it, they don't know what it was like.
Right. Ms. Frazier, would they have had to get permits to do all of that work? And shouldn't it be posted outside of the construction?
So
Yeah.
we are in touch with the Department of Buildings regarding 4401 Clarendon Road. The property was purchased by 101 Clarendon Road, Mazul BH LLC. We did relate to the Buildings Department that these houses were leaning. Buildings Department responded to us and said that they are going to refer the location for inspection. Uh, there were violations placed on that location, but a full vacate order exists on the property due to unsafe conditions. So we are aware of it. We have all the before and after pictures.
Mm-hmm.
The work that they've already done, they kind of brick the house, and you're right,
Mm-hmm.
kind of an illusion, like the house is standing straight, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So we are working on it. Someone did bring it to the attention of the office, and I
Mm-hmm.
reached out to the Department of Buildings, and that's all the information I have right now.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. It's gonna be messed up. Someone buys a house not knowing that it was leaning and it fall onto the next house next to it and somebody get hurt. That'd be messed up. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And do we know why it's leaning? I mean, there's a number of houses on Clarendon that lean like that. Do we know why those houses are leaning?
We don't know. We were told that, and I don't know how true it is, that there was some kind of a pond or creek or something in that area. I don't know, but I'll tell you what I do know. Several years ago, when I found out about the leaning houses, I reached out to our elected officials to find out if we can do a study to determine why the homes are leaning. And a study costs hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for that to happen. So far, I've had no takers for us to conduct an environmental study there to determine what the issue really is, why so many homes are leaning on that block. So if the community or a group of people wants to come together and try to work, let's go and approach our elected officials and see if we can get an environmental study started. I did also reach out to DEP because I didn't know what to do, which agency to call, but funding is necessary for environmental studies. So that's where we're at right now. In the interim, if we see anything, we say something. Because you have unscrupulous land, contractors like the one that started the repair on that house that's coming in, you know, persons buying it may not have lived in the community, do not know the history of the area, and they may sell it for a reasonable price, you never know. So
Right.
that's what we're doing. We're on the alert, and
Yeah.
thank you so much. If you see something, please give us a call and let
I
us know.
guess
Someone, yeah, go ahead.
I guess to me it's like part of a bigger issue because it impacts the values of the homes in the area,
Yeah.
right? Because if you are looking to buy, you're deterred because the houses are leaning. You don't want to buy
Mhm.
something that has the potential to do so. And if you're looking to sell, houses in the area are leaning. So I think overall it affects the neighborhood, and it's something that should be looked into. Like, yeah, surely there should be a feasibility study or whatever the study is, but then how it can be fixed, because it's so unique. I mean, I move around all neighborhoods around New York City, and I don't see that issue anywhere else. And I feel like it is devaluing a beautiful community, and it affects all the homeowners that are around, whether they want to sell or people who want to purchase.
So do you think it would be a good idea if we put together a letter from the housing committee requesting
Absolutely.
to all of the
Yeah.
elected officials to see if they can participate in doing a housing study because we're concerned about this?
Sure.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yes,
Start
because
again.
it's been like that. I've been in the neighborhood for 10 years. It's been like that for 10 years. And unless something is done, it will stay like that. So I think something needs to be done about it. We need to know why so we can find a solution around it. But like not doing anything about it doesn't change.
Okay, so what I can do is I can start a letter and then give it to all you guys so you can look it over, add to it, whatever. And then after we finish it, we can present it to the rest of the board that we want to present this letter to the elected officials. So this way maybe we can put a fire under their butt to get the area some help. Because the study is going to cost a lot of money, then they got some discretionary funds that they're going to need to spend. They need to spend on helping the neighborhood because that's what they're in the office to do.
Right.
I think so.
Okay.
I vote for it.
Okay. So I'll add that to my to-do task. Let me do the letter for meeting houses. So I'll get on it and try and send like different drafts to you guys via email to work on as well to look at. So this way, by the time we have our next meeting, you'll always have your ideas to add to it or whatever. So this way we can be as efficient and quick with it as possible. Okay. Back to the agenda. So old business. Did anybody have some more old business?
Well, I don't know what the old business is, so I don't know if it's you. We can recap. I don't know what the old business is because I haven't attended any meetings before. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Just anything that you may have brought up before, you can work on now. That's fine. Do you have any new business that you want to add? Since you may have missed what was going on?
Well, my concern is the quality of life when, my issue is still dwelling on the multiple unit because they're constructing houses that doesn't have parking spaces for the occupants who's going to be occupying the buildings, putting a squeeze on the people with single and double, like triple family unit. If you have something with 12 units, now you have 12 more families, you're going to have more cars in the area. Shouldn't there be some kind of mandate as to make it necessary that these buildings be constructed with some kind of parking space for the even if it's like you're going to put up a 20 units, but have some kind of parking space in the building that they're constructing? It wasn't that discussed at some point?
Yeah, I believe at some point the city council or the Congress or whatever at the fault of Anthony Reynoso, they wanted the new construction to be done without parking because they're trying to get people to give up their cars. So I think that kind of plays into it. So that new construction, they're not doing it with garages anymore. But I need more people to do pushback on that because what they envision and what's actually happened is two totally different things. Especially since they're trying to get people to get rid of their cars, but they're bringing ride shares into the neighborhood. So I think we need to start doing more pushback and speaking up because that is not working. And people who have cars should be trying to get other people to give up their cars, if you ask me. Miss Zenobia, you have the floor. Your hand is raised.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Oh, good. Yes, that was part of the City of Yes that the mayor put out. last month, and we really need to. I don't think that went through yet. That's what's being proposed. That parking issue. So, did anybody know? I mean, I don't know where it stands right now, but that was what was proposed, and he had and I was on that conference when you could have called and speak in about that. We really do need to push back on that because, as Perlene said, that does not work.
Okay. That's
And
true.
I have 3 600-unit buildings being built in a Sears parking lot. And if they're not going to have parking for 1,800 units, that's a big problem.
Yeah, we need to do more pushback on that because unless we do it, they're going to keep doing everything. I mean, look at when they added the ride share. They didn't ask if they can put the ride share in the neighborhood. They just said this is what we're doing, and there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, we need to start speaking up and showing them that we're going to speak up and we're going to do follow through as well. Or they're going to keep doing these and adding these buildings and no parking spaces and no, what the resources, the sewer is going to be backing up with all of the people because they're not doing anything to add to the area, just adding more and more buildings. So yeah, we need to start speaking up more to our elected officials and let them know that is not okay.
Mhm.
So maybe we need to do 2 letters for the leaning buildings and a letter in regards to the parking. So this way they know that we're paying attention and we're not going to take it anymore. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea because right now in Canarsie, they're pushing back for having multiple units coming to their area like they're doing right now in East Flatbush. And if we don't speak on this, they will continue doing it. Canarsie is pushing back to stop the construction of multiple units in their area. But here in Flatbush, I don't know what happened. When did it pass where the city council decided they can do it? Now, people have cars. People don't give up cars just like that. You have cars not just to run around in the city. You have cars to go elsewhere. So it's a multiple type of thing that's going on here. Even to take parking spaces within the area and give it up to rideshare. You wake up one morning, 2 spaces on your block is given to rideshare. What about the rights of the people who's paying property taxes who don't have a space to put a car? Everybody's not going to ride a bike. Everybody
Yeah,
so this is city council is making decisions and we need to bring it to our local officials who sit in office that we should have a say when you decide to put specific spaces for a ride share in your area for bikes to park on your block and you have no space to put your car and the simple solution to them is get rid of your car. No, we should have a say before these things are done. And we have to go to these elected officials who sit in office, who say they represent us, to do something about it. Some pressure have to be put on city council. You can walk into somebody's neighborhood overnight and decide what you're going to do in an area where you don't even live.
yeah.
And it seems like the ride shares were really excessive. I mean, my car nearly got towed because of it. There was no sign when they installed it, but there's so many of them and they're not being used. I know we're in the winter months, but they came in the summer months and people aren't using them. So it's like, however they came to the conclusion that so many are needed, it seems to be wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll do 2 letters, one in regards to the leaning and one in regards to the parking issue. Ms. Zenobia, you raising your hand again?
Yes. When did
Okay.
I mean, this is new with me with the rideshare. When did the rideshare spaces get taken? Are they mostly on the eastern side of the district? Because I don't see any over here, over in Flatbush. Where
In
the
Flatbush,
rideshare?
I drive around and I go down. There is quite a few rideshare. When you go down to Avenue H, there's rideshare space there that shocked me because I turned before you reach the police department. They have rideshare space over there. And another space I saw it. I said, oh my goodness, you come into this neighborhood, you don't have any place to put your car to even stop for a few minutes to go to a store. So there's a few in Flatbush.
Yeah.
There are several around Holy Cross Cemetery, like maybe like 5 or 6 of them around the cemetery.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, there are.
also put bike ramps as well. To
The bike ramps, the bikes are ridiculous.
We
Yeah.
don't even. I have many people in the community don't even ride bikes. So how do you take up a whole half a block and you make it into bike, bike lanes, bike for parking bikes? You know, it's no regards for the people who's living in the community and these decisions are being made. Decisions are being made at the city council and we're fast asleep and we don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, is there any way we can find out what the rhyme or reason was for those bike lanes? Because there are literally 3 within 1 block of me. And there's one at Bedford and Beverly, then you just go right up to Tilden and Lot, there's one, and then you go down again around the corner. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Within 3 blocks, having all these bikes there. So how do we I mean, I know they said, I think I read somewhere that we're not able to talk about why we can't decide where bike racks are placed, but that seems a little bit just too authoritarian for me to say that that's true.
Yeah, I don't know how they came about them, but they just showed up and put them where they wanted to because they're one way or the other. They're going to try and get rid of us using cars, whatever. So that's where, and I don't know where they're coming up with the bikes because who in the wintertime going to be riding a bike? And suppose you got a big family, you're going to put 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and have a couple hanging on the side for dear life. I mean, that's crazy. you know, it's crazy. So yeah, and like up on Nostrand, there's one on Nostrand right there. Then there's another one when you go a few blocks over. It's like that's a lot of bikes for a neighborhood that where people don't really ride bikes.
Well, I can understand Nostrand Avenue because what I think they're trying to say is that when a person comes off the subway, they could take a bike to wherever they're going, east or west of the subway. But not having one on Beverly and Nostrand, the subway, and then you go 2 little blocks over on Cordelia Road and 32nd Street, and then go over another 2 blocks, another one there at New York. I mean, that's really within 2 to 3 blocks of each other. That's really overkill.
Yeah, they're putting them everywhere. They're determined that they're going to have a bunch of New Yorkers on a bike. I don't know why, but yeah, we can try and find out more. Maybe we can push to get some of them going, especially if they're not being used. They just sit there taking up space. You know, maybe we can get some sort of data as to how often those particular bike racks are being used. And if they're not being used, maybe we can get them moved because it makes no sense to have something there taking up space.
Or even fewer bikes at each of these places because it's like 15 bikes lined up and no one's using them. So even if they had like 5 of them and give back some of the parking space. But I think the other part of it is too, where are you riding the bikes? There's nowhere to ride the bikes. Like, sure, there's a couple of bike lanes going east to west, but they're not that many in comparison to where they've put the bikes. So it feels like the plan is half baked. You've put so many bikes without a safe place for people to ride bikes. So
well, I think bike lanes are trying to come as well. So they're doing one little bit at a time. You know, to try and put lanes even on blocks where you shouldn't really have a lane because the street is already so narrow. You see that in other neighborhoods. It's going to come this way as well. They're going to say, okay, we got the bikes there, now let's give the lanes. I think bike lanes make sense in some neighborhoods, but not in others. And they should speak with the community to see what's needed and what's going to be safe because that's not good at all.
Okay.
Fields,
Yes.
I would suggest you get in touch with Mr. Lewis regarding bike lanes. We have had extensive, and I mean extensive conversations and meetings regarding the bike lanes, both with the commissioner, the elected officials, and a number of other agencies. So I would suggest you get in touch with him regarding the bike lanes and the bike rack.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Any more news from anyone else? Issues? Concerns?
I don't have an issue or concern, but I overheard you talking about the is it a housing fair you said?
The housing fair for the summer. We're going to do the housing fair again.
Okay, so when are you going to start planning for that?
That's what I'm saying. We want to start planning right away, so this way we're not rushing things at the last minute.
I would suggest, since we have a little time, that you put your date in place because there's always kind of a conflict with other committees when everyone is looking for a date. It's not on the calendar. So since you have a little time, I would suggest you just at least have the date in place so we can.
So how about we choose 22nd? What do you guys think? The 22nd of June? Because I was either going to be 15th or the 22nd. What do everyone think?
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Is that a Saturday?
Is that a Saturday?
That's a Saturday.
Oh.
That's a Saturday.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
That sounds good.
Okay. Okay. So Ms. Frazier, yes, let's block off the Saturday, June 22nd for the housing fair.
Okay.
Are you gonna do like a rain date in case? Because we
No, rain or shine. Rain or shine. Okay, we go. Okay. Ms. Mormon, you have your hand raised?
Is it going to be at Pattigat Park?
Yes.
Cattigat Park. Yeah. Okay. Ms. Mormon, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, that's okay. I wasn't at the community board meeting, and I'm not a community board member. I'm a committee member, but
Uh-huh.
I listened on YouTube to the recording of the regular general board meeting,
Mhm.
and there was a woman from the community. She was a visitor. She wasn't a board member. She was a visitor, and I know they have that segment in the general meeting
Mhm.
that she came to the mic, and I remember she said something like, and I'm not sure what category, which committee this would deal with this, but I don't know if she's on this meeting, but they had suggested that she come to this one. She lived in I'm not sure if it was like a project building or like, I'm not sure what the buildings are called, but she was saying that there's a neighbor on her floor. I don't know if anybody remembers this, who actually came in person to SUNY Downstate for the general meeting, the last one. But she went up to the mic and she said there's a neighbor on her floor that every time when they open the door or she opens her door, it was something like that. They're smoking cannabis or something. I don't know if anybody would remember this.
Yeah, I remember
Okay.
that.
Yeah, she was saying they're smoking cannabis and she has multiple health issues. Like I think she was saying uh I think she said congestive heart failure or something. You know, she had some, anybody remembers that? You know, like who
I remember
actually went
exactly
in
what she
person?
had, but she said she had some issues and the smoke was
Right,
bothering her. Yeah.
right. It was affecting her health and she was having trouble breathing because of the cannabis or whatever it was the fumes were coming from through their door or I don't know. So it was coming into her apartment, so her quality of life was impacted. That's basically the gist of it. I don't know if she's on this meeting right now, but it was definitely inside her housing complex where she lived, and the tenant was on her floor, and she said she wrote a letter to her, I guess the landlord or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if somebody could just, you know, that's basically it because I just remember that issue was brought up. And you know, and then the issue that we always talk about, not necessarily in this meeting, but I think the public safety one and the general board meeting, the issue that always comes up is the smoke shops. And I know this doesn't have to do with that, but I'm just saying, I think what the tenant was saying was that her next door neighbor was smoking cannabis inside the apartment and it was in a housing complex. That's basically it. But if you can, if you have any thoughts on that, whoever came in person, because I wasn't able to make that meeting, but I looked at the recording like the day after. Thank you.
I think someone, thank you. I think someone mentioned that because the cannabis is legal now and they're doing it in their own apartment, there wasn't a whole lot that can be done. But I can see what if we can look into with it because this is all new to everyone now that cannabis is legal. Because I had the same issue actually in my apartment. People get here after work and then they get lit and it's coming into my apartment and I'm like, cut it out. I don't want to be high with you. So yeah, I want to look into that as well to see if there's something that we can do. Maybe we can get the windows done better or whatever, or something. Because yeah, a lot of people getting high and smoking and messing with the neighbor. It's the same thing with people smoking regular cigarettes and the cigarettes going into the person's apartment. Um, and there's not a lot people can do about it except for suck it up or whatever. I guess I don't know, but
You don't want to
maybe
suck it up.
I know, right? Because it's just awful when someone else is smoking and you don't smoke and it's coming to you. So maybe there's something we can do. Okay, someone, you want to speak again, Ms. Mormon, or is that your hand left up from before? No? Okay, maybe your hand was left up from before.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm gonna lower it. Thank you.
Okay.
Ms.
Okay.
Fields, I just sent
Yeah.
out a link. There were some questions regarding the City of Yes. So if you're
Okay.
anyone on their computer, there is a hearing coming up, and it's open to the public. If anyone, well, this is for the City of Yes Economic Opportunity. Anyone interested in joining, I just sent the link out to the members.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Frazier. Yeah, and also the other thing you sent us out to us, there's a hearing on that. Wait, what was that? Hold on. I opened it up
That
and
I did not send out to the public. That was for the board members only, since they voted
oh,
on 3002 Farragut Road. That was
no,
only
no,
for the
no,
members of the board.
not that the New York Office of Mayor thing, the
Um,
public, the public hearing opportunity to comment on rules from the New York Mayor.
let's see. You have to refresh my memory. I sent so much information out to the public.
New York.
Okay.
They're doing a where is it? Hearing on speaker hearing. Anyone who wants to comment on proposed rule at the public hearing, sign up to speak. And this is on see, going through the Office of Environmental Coordination, proposed sent amend chapter 6, rules to exempt certain housing and related actions from review under the State Environmental Quality Act and City Environmental Quality Review procedures. Can you give that link to everyone as well? That copy of the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission thing you sent over.
What is the subject matter, so I can pull it up easily?
The title of your thing was New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission, and it's a notice of public hearing on opportunity to comment on proposed rules for the exempt certain housing and related actions from review under the State Environmental Quality Review Act and City Environmental Quality Review
You
procedures.
want to send it back to me?
Okay.
Yeah, send it back to me, please. I'm talking to you and I'm getting texts. I'm dealing with Fire Lewis's office and community residents at the same time. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Let me save this first. Save and put it into housing stuff. Save. And now I'll go back to my email. Post. Add. Okay. Okay, I just sent it.
Okay, I'll send it out. Thank you.
Okay. So if they want to participate in that hearing, they can as well.
I have it. I'm still waiting. What email you sent it to? My S Frazier?
Oh wait, let me make sure. Yeah, I have a habit of just clicking send without even looking. Hold on. Go back. Oh, sent. S Frazier at cb.nyc.gov. Okay. And someone just mentioned that because it's Juneteenth, after the 22nd, that we should do it on the 15th. So for the fair. So let's switch it to June 15th. So this way we don't run into Juneteenth issues. Is that okay with everyone? For the housing fair?
When is Juneteenth? The 15th or the
Juneteenth is the 19th.
Oh. Oh.
The 22nd. Yeah, the 22nd. So why would you? 22nd is the weekend after June. But people aren't going to travel on Juneteenth, or you think there's going to be a bunch of Juneteenth celebrations? When the celebrations be on the 15th though, or not on the 22nd? Be leading up to Juneteenth? Yeah, leading up to Juneteenth, right?
I think there'll be a lot of stuff around it. Hello. It
Yeah.
before the weekend nearest to it and the day of. So definitely avoid the day of, but don't be surprised if there's things before.
When is Juneteenth? The 15th of the month?
The 19th.
It's the
Oh, the
19th.
19th.
So
Also,
yeah,
just for
after
the,
the Juneteenth. Yeah,
also,
after the Juneteenth makes better. Yeah, the 22nd, leave it on the 22nd. Yeah, because I would think the 15th people would be doing stuff since that's the first weekend before the Juneteenth, so they'll be doing more stuff.
yeah.
And then leading up to the Juneteenth. Yeah, so yeah, let's do that. Let's avoid that. Yeah. Okay, so leave it on the 22nd. Yeah. Okay. Let's
The
change this one.
22nd, the 22nd
I
of
didn't
June.
receive the emails yet.
Yeah, the 22nd of June, that'll be Saturday. Whereas the 15th, it'll be the Saturday before Juneteenth. And since Juneteenth come on a Wednesday, they'll probably be doing stuff to celebrate on the 15th, the Saturday. So we don't want to clash with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. You get the email, Ms. Frazier, to get ready already?
No, not yet.
What is wrong with the? Let me try and send it again. It's weird. Attach. Okay, just sent it again.
Okay.
Maybe it went into your spam.
Yep, I just got it. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll set it up now.
This way, if you want to participate in that particular hearing as well, you can. Okay.
They both came up
So
live.
at the same time, my supercomputer. Okay. So we got that to everyone. Does anyone have any other business they want to bring up?
Good afternoon. Evening.
Oh, Mr. Daly, Chair Daly. Good afternoon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I just really just fast. I just want to hello everyone.
Hello.
As Ms. Chair Fields just
Hello,
mentioned,
Mr.
I'm
Daly.
Chair Daly of the board, and some of you know me already. I just wanted to take an opportunity to wish everyone a happy New Year and welcome them to everything this year is going to bring. As a conversation goes, do more in 2024. Also like to invite everyone out to our meeting, our general meeting coming up the third Wednesday of this month. Chair, our district manager Frazier can send you an email on that for you to come out and be active in what's going on. There are many things going on in our community that we need to be active in and that we've been working on at the board level. Transportations, sanitation, education. These are, just a few, and there are a lot of things going on. The bike racks, bike lanes, the housing, what kind of businesses are going up. I heard the conversation about the cannabis and how the state is looking at more opportunity for cannabis businesses to become part of our community, and the Axe Mommy, right? And the illegal cannabis businesses that are also happening within our community. There are many of those smoke shops are not up to par, they're not up to standard. And I feel bad for the poor young lady who complains about the marijuana, but now with the city piece, the state allow marijuana to be more legal. So some things we have to fight about. And the last thing is that, and I will get it out to everyone, when we look at the city and the mayoral control in education. If you have somebody in education or something that you are interested in, it's something to make sure that we fight about this month. There'll be several hearings to talk about that, and hopefully a lot of people will participate. And please, I love to see, I love the Block Association, I love the housing. This is one of our strongest committees, and you guys need to continue doing the great work that you're doing. And I thank you, Chair Fields, for chairing this committee and being a leader on it. And so thank you so much for that. And thank you so much, everyone, for the opportunity. And again, let's do more in 2024.
Hooray, yeah. Okay,
good.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? So if there's no one else who would like to speak, then
Ms. McNally, Zenobia
oh, Ms.
McNally.
Mallory. Oh, Ms. You have the floor, Ms. Zenobia.
Okay, one last thing. I want you to know that as far as the whole situation with Sears and the buildings over there, this is a by community board effort. So we're having another meeting on Tuesday the 16th at the King's Theater from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm waiting to get a flyer and I will send it to everyone so they could see it if you'd like to participate. Last time we had over 40 people attend. So we're thinking there'll probably be more people attending this time.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, when you get that, let us have it so this way we can put it on our calendars. Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm sorry, Chair Frazier, I didn't hear the whole meeting, but did you talk about the transportation hearing up on congestion pricing? If you know, I personally look at the congestion pricing that's going to happen in Manhattan as a regressive tax, because it's also going to increase MTA. There are many things that MTA is doing to create problems for especially people who have to go to work in Manhattan, who have to do all of these different things. And, you know, our cab drivers, our liver drivers, our Uber drivers, all is going to have a negative impact, right? If the cab drivers are going to, liver drivers are going to pay congestion pricing, they're going to increase your Uber fares. If you that means that, and a lot of us are, with all the negative things that are happening on public, although the public transportation admittedly is safer, there is a certain fear of traveling on public transportation, and they're forcing us to stay out of Manhattan as if Manhattan is so special, right? Manhattan is so special, is only for the upper class, and they're the one who's supposed to stay in Manhattan. That's just my personal feeling. I'm putting my personal thing out there. And so there are hearings going on. So if Chair Frazier, District Manager Frazier can send it to you if you want to participate, listen, give testimony on this, as I call them, regressive taxes, right? It's not a direct tax, but it is a tax when you have to pay this money. When you have to, if you have an emergency, like for me, example, I'm very sickly. So if I go to Manhattan, I'm going to drive. I'm going to have one of my kids driving me, my wife driving me, my father, or whomever, and I have to pay this tax. And it's not fair economically. So please, people, speak up. Don't do what we normally do and react when things are already in place, and then you didn't take the opportunity to voice your opinion. Just like, as I mentioned earlier, with the mayoral control. We react, and people know this in our community, and that's why sometimes they allow too many things to happen in our community, because we are reactive, not proactive, and we have to do better about that. And I could go on, but this is one thing that's very important to me, and it's got to be important to you, because we don't live in Manhattan, and if we travel to Manhattan, we have an issue. Many of us want to take our kids to Times Square, to Rockefeller Center, to whatever, right? And we want to go to the theater, whatever, and we have to pay additional money. We don't live in two separate cities, and it should not be treated as such. That's my 2 cents.
Yes, and I agree. There's a money grab, and it's a shame that they're trying to do congestion pricing, and they're also raising the pricing of taking public transportation. So they're making it more expensive to do either or. It's like they're trying to take more money from the poor and the middle class so that the upper class can live lovely, and that's not good. It's ruining our quality of life. So, yeah, can you, Ms. Frazier, send everyone a copy of the notice so that we can get the information to participate in the hearing? That would be great. Thank you.
You can also talk to your legislators as well, right? Because they're the one who got to make this final decision. So not just that, but let them know that, let Farah know, let Rodney's know, let Kevin know that Roxanne Prasad, all of those who, depending on who your elected officials are, let them know that this is a disgrace. So that's, there you go.
Thank you, Chair Daly. Anyone else would like to add? Going once? And then Ms. Bailey, you want to talk? No? Okay. Going twice? Okay, just the third time. So does anyone want to call for the meeting to adjourn? Anybody?
I can call it.
Who said that?
I'm Kamara. Hi.
And I was second. And
Thank you.
Hudson.
Thank you. So thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you for all of the suggestions and comments. And I would like to wish all of you a very happy new year once again, and have a great evening. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
to
Good night.
everyone.